This is Chronicles by JBENz. Beautiful America. Listen. With squinted vision, this land was seen beautiful, while eyes wide shut watched the hated people bite cuticles. Waiting to exhale, a breath yet to be fully taken, we awaken from choking on stale air. The devil's dew that's lightly set up on silver tongues whispered, a grievous stench disguised under melodic hymns that seem to still dampen senses. So we cough up excuses not to listen to reason. The noises that pound inside our head never silence our sneezes. Powerful words spoken but never followed are just logs of rotted tear-dried wood, chopped from trees of hypocrisy, burning in empty fireplaces within our stone-cold hearts. We find these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. But the hands of poverty in America have separated the likeness of all people. So how beautiful is this America? Beauty doesn't cry wolf to devour men's souls and leave kindred spirits starving for freedom. Life spits in our faces because liberty has been drinking from a vile glass filled with toxic beliefs that it easily swallowed but couldn't hold down. And pursuit of happiness has run drier than the deserted oasis of our optimism. That same oasis that allowed America to free itself from a Britain not so great to eventually partake in the same mistakes. Is this not insanity? Or is it that vanity has put on her clogging boots to river dance all over our common sense, stomping on our ambitions to diagnose it with symptoms of headache, then feeding us an antidote of hopeless despair pills that swell up inside the bellies of our mind and somehow leave them unimaginatively hollow? It's cruel and unusual how 13 colonies, not so original, birthed colleges like Harvard that took Yale's hand and signed that crooked dotted line not allowing the poor to attend. So if you were poor, you couldn't ascend. And if your skin was a shade darker than pale, then America felt it was her right to make us carry water pails to wells we could never own, just to wash our master democracy's feet and sit helplessly as he walked all over our feeble minds, wrinkling our thoughts of promise like a cheap, worn-out welcome mat. While America sent her springs to college, we slaved outside her cottage and picked cabbages for her to eat while she put cabbage in her baggage and traveled the world in style. We traveled her fields in single file as savages and averaged less than life as she multiplied life twice and lived it out to its fullest for the both of us. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But when you're holding everything, you can't see how ugly you truly are. So America is less than beautiful by far. Independence Day is only the anniversary of America still contemplating whether or not to say yes to democracy when he proposes. Democracy, well aware she only married for greed, is promising her the equator for a wedding ring. But that ring rests around the fingers of 13 others. And since America is too rich to share and democracy is too proud to kneel even to propose, it would seem that us true folk are still waiting for an invitation to a wedding that we'll never be invited to. So the only ones to end up on bended knee in this country are we. As the pounds of discrimination weigh all of us down, too heavy of a crown for any of our heads to host, we'll never get to be the queens and kings we're destined to be until the burden of that weight is lifted like the wings of the flight of an eagle. And that American bird is not her only endangered species. Is this why we're being held in captivity? Captivity being the penitentiary where many of us unwarrantedly reside. A poor child silently cries inside, jealous that Jesus' father's house has many mansions, while his father's house only has many windowless rooms with iron bars and restricted visiting hours, while America cowers behind a constitution with no restitution. A poor child silently cries inside, jealous that Jesus' father's house has many mansions, while his father's house only has many windowless rooms with iron bars and restricted visiting hours, while America cowers behind a constitution with no restitution. So the only true thing that's beautiful about this America is the beautiful people that live in it that haven't given up on her or democracy yet. Chronicles by JBENz. Keep listening. Thank you.